The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Tuesday, the 22nd day of March, 2022. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications and Lindo's. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Sherry Vanderpool, and Leanna Lambert will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Sherry?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm well oiled today.
You or your beard?
Oh,
I'm just checking.
yeah. Folks, if you're on my WhatsApp thing, you will see why Sherry's talking about my beard. Private conversations got shared publicly yesterday, and Leanna was no help. She just laughed, and Phil I think tried to help me out, and yeah, Sherry made me feel scruffy. Make me feel scruffy, folks. You all know I don't use lotion like that, so I don't even know why we're y'all acting surprised when I say I don't use lotion. But
At all, Jamal? Like not even on your feet?
No, I have oily skin, so I don't need lotion. My skin's naturally oily, but I do use, what's the green and white one? It's green and white bottle. That's what my doctor said to use. But no, it begins with a C. Set something, whatever. But anyway,
Cetaphil or something.
Yeah, that sounds like it. Yeah, we're gonna go with that one. But my skin's naturally oily, and then if you touch me, which I don't like people to do, my skin's very soft. Like people are like, how does a man have skin so soft? I bathe. Yeah, I bathe. Yeah, I shower and all that. So people, not everyone suffers from the scruff or ashiness, or just because I'm dark doesn't mean that I have those issues, folks.
You had a bath this morning?
Last night and this morning, showers. Yeah.
Okay.
How about you?
The same.
Oh, okay. Just checking, trying to call me out, folks. Anyway, enough of our hygiene stories, because she trying to make me feel dirty. Again, Leanna didn't have my back. They were talking backstage about me, and so it's like, oh, you notice how he doesn't say anything backstage when the camera comes on? Oh yeah, I saved my juice, folks. I saved my juice. Don't worry, I've got something for them today.
Or your oil. You save your oil.
Oh wow, really? That's what we're doing. Yeah, the oil comes pumping out of my pores anyway. Anyway, good morning, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. Another good one today. We welcome back Dr. Phyllis Curtis-Tweed. She's stopping by to talk about Bermuda College, this literary series, and so I'm happy to have a conversation in particular in regards to literacy. It's so important. So looking forward to it. Daily Play, what is it, Sherry?
It's not me remember when. Wait. It was quotes yesterday, so places today.
It's a remote. Yeah, it's Tuesday. Having a bit of internet trouble over my end, folks. So don't worry. It's Florida. Florida's doing its thing this morning.
I thought it was me.
No, it's a bit of internet trouble. Look, it's not easy. When I was on my jog this morning, I noticed that my cell phone wasn't working. I noticed that I couldn't, do my normal thing. And I said, well, what's going on here? Do you know this is the first time I've ever worked out where I've had headphones in my ear and nothing going on?
Oh wow. How you
Yes,
make out?
I had to sing to myself. And I thought I sounded pretty good. I'm not quite sure the wildlife enjoyed it as much though. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about this morning. We have a question. Yesterday we had a very important guest on. We had the chief executive from the regulatory authority joining us, and he spoke about at the end he spoke about the cost of electricity going up. And well, Sherry, should I play what he said before we get into the conversation?
Yeah, let's hear it straight from him.
Let's give a recap so people can hear it from his mouth themselves. Okay, here we go.
We have reviewed Belco's request. The requested percent increase was 16%, and we allowed 7.5%. So that's a savings of $28 million over those 2 years. And also the fuel, as you know, is increasing because of the the global things that we mentioned earlier in terms of fuel costs. And that's going to come out at about 18.9 cents, up from 15.57 cents.
Alrighty. So that said, the question of the morning is, how can we reduce our electricity and energy costs? Like, I said it yesterday, gas prices are going up. We react. Many of us get emotional. We complain. We speak about it. We get frustrated by it. But at the end of the day, that's not healthy. It's nothing we can do about it. So with the things that we can control, what are you doing? What can we do collectively to reduce our own electricity and energy costs? What you got in the cellar for them, Sherry?
Well, like you mentioned yesterday, back in the day, it was like, turn off the water, turn off this, and all of this kind of things. I liked some of the tips that Mr. Williams Denton had mentioned. Definitely, it was a chore to do way back then, but hang out your clothes. It's like, I don't want to, I don't need to, but it does save. As far as electricity saves on all different ends, it's just being able to plan to do it. The other thing I did like was turn off the panel on your hot water heater or get a timer. I suggest a timer, especially if you get home and you forget to turn it back on in time for you to get a shower, bath, or whatever it is. But I would suggest for you to get a timer. In addition to unplugging things that you're not using. We leave things plugged up all the time, but we're not using the microwave all the time. We're not using our cell phone chargers all the time. If you are not using it, or you have a spare bedroom or another room that has things in it, unplug. Just unplug those things, along with the light bulbs. And as he said, changing things out to your LED light bulbs. So just making those little changes.
You know what I think's impressive about your list, though? The fact that outside of when you got to light bulbs, nothing really cost money to do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
It's literally like, I think when we think of making positive changes, we think of cost. Like, what's it going to cost for us to do this? I love the idea that is really, let's just pull back. Now, one of the things I mentioned yesterday, and you discussed it. I remember my aunt. She is the first person I knew who got a dryer. To this day, she probably tuned in. To this day, she probably only uses that dryer if it's raining or like whatnot. But I didn't realize until I got older, and Bermudians, tell me if I'm wrong here, that people thought it was ghetto, right, to put your clothes on the line. And for me, I'm like, if that's ghetto, give it to me any day. Like, there are certain neighborhoods and communities in the US, for instance, where you can put your clothes outside.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Like, it represents something different. And I'm like, nah, that to me was the smart way back where I grew up. We put it out on the line, let the air, the sun dry our clothes. But keep in mind, now folks, yes or no? Were you the victim of your parents, your family putting the clothes out on the line? They see that rain cloud, Jamal, you could be outside playing, you can be somewhere in the shower, you can be anywhere. You could be like in the next neighborhood, right? Your parents, your nana, whoever, they're screaming your name down, mind you, The clotheslines 3 feet from them, but that's screaming you down saying that it's about to rain. Come get those clothes off the line. Tell me I'm not the only one that experienced that.
You're not.
That is the most Bermudian. I'm telling you, you are not Bermudian if your family never yelled at you to go pick those clothes up off the line before the rain came.
Or go outside and look, see what's going on. You're looking outside. No, nothing's coming from the south right now.
Yep. That is a Bermudianism, but Shana Smith says yes. Traveling Trotty says yes, a very true story. Christina Kenhampton, thumbs up. Yeah, Karen Simmons says yes. But yeah, folks, honestly, I think that's something that, like I said yesterday, just going full circle, something we can go back to doing that cost us nothing but a bit of time. It's interesting to me that some things become the norm, and when they do become the norm, we actually forget expense because we're so into the convenience of it, right?
Yes.
We fall in love with the convenience. So what are your thoughts though? What do you think, what are some things that you can do to reduce your own electricity and energy costs? Angeline says, ditto Jamal. Muriel said Tusha remembers as well as my good friend Hadaline Stevenson Swan out there. Michelle White says, so glad someone invented a dryer. Yeah.
And the thing is, Jamal, and you might get that phone call too if you're him during the summer months, and it's like it's raining a ton. You need to go picky on this clothes because the rain's coming. But what you talked about, it's time. What we tend to have gotten accustomed to is being lazy, and the convenience has made us lazy, and thinking that hanging out clothes and doing all of those things is just not the right thing to do. But if we plan it and put time into those cost-effective ways, they can work for us.
Yeah. I think convenience. Everyone's looking for convenience. I think that's one of the things there. James Burt says, switching to timers on the water heater saves me over $100 a month. That's good to know, James.
Wow.
My aunt's in the crowd. There goes Al Cheapo. She's the one. She got that dryer. She says, what's wrong? It's not raining outside. But yeah, she says that is the way it was back then. So I'm guessing she no longer uses the clothesline. She can tell us in the audience. Traveling Trotty says, I turn off my water heater from the panel every day.
Wow.
We have a goody two shoes in the crowd. David Michael R. Wilson says, I guess I'm not Bermudian, never got yelled at for taking clothes off the line. You were probably just a good child. You probably knew, you know what? I don't want to get yelled at. Let me go get the clothes off the line before the weather changes. So you were a good one. Renee Simmons for you, Sherry.
It's actually not coming up on this side, Jamal. So go here.
Oh, Sherry's got some technical difficulties. We can talk about her today, folks. I hated it and used to snatch the clothes off until I heard, don't forget the pegs. Oh, yes. The pegs. How can we forget the pegs? Yeah. Kathy Rogers says, don't forget the drying breeze. Yes.
Yes.
But see, folks, the ancestors, our parents, our grandparents, they knew better.
Well, even now, Jamal, like I know for this new generation, it's like you have a dryer, but can I get a clothesline? Please put a clothesline there just in case. I grew up on Mary Victoria Road in Prospect, and we had a line out the back, and I remember having to go out there. But then I moved to Rockaway, and that was the end of that. I became part of the condo living lifestyle, and having a line outside was not in the HOA. But then I also had a friend, and tell me if anybody used to do this, put certain pieces, if it was still damp, on the hot water heater. Who did that?
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fire hazard, right?
Wow. Yeah,
that sounds like a fire hazard. Traveling Trotty says, I also turn off the cable box during the day at work and when going to sleep. Big savings. Simple little things like that. Wow. Simple things. Michelle White says, I'm not sure the convenience made us lazy. It more that we had to spend more time out of the home, no time to spend doing the extras like hanging out clothes. I again, convenience. I look at it as convenience, not necessarily laziness, but there are some people who, myself included, may be a bit more lazy because of things. David Michael R. Wilson, far from being the good one, more so that could shrug it off to a younger cousin.
Ah,
See, you're a smart man, brother.
he was a
Smart.
clothes pimp.
Yep. Monica Dunstan says, hang clothes to dry, energy efficient appliances, timers, turn off rooms from the breaker to reduce phantom load. I haven't paid a Belco bill in 2 years since investing in solar panels. I think she just gave us a solution. What can we reduce? What can we do to reduce our electricity and energy costs? I think Monica Dunstan just gave us the answer. She just gave
Wow.
us the answer. Sam Cat Place says solar is expensive, so we are out of luck either way. Unplug stuff, stop turning on stuff unnecessarily. Who knows? Who knows? Because you try something one way and another way always finds itself to get your money. Well, I thought about this. It's like my horse example last week. I wonder what the cost is of feeding a horse versus putting gas in a car. I do wonder what the cost is to actually get solar, like install it and everything over a period of time versus the electricity. So I don't have that information. I don't even want to. I'm not in that space. I guess we can rely on Monica Dunstan, who said that it's working out for her more
2
cost.
years.
Yeah. Carol Griffith says, it's for that reason I swear never to go back to a clothesline. she was staying. You all scarred her, man. She's like, nope, we are not going back. I'm not running outside for that rain. Not at all. Not at all.
I don't know. And then putting stuff on a clothesline does bring a different feel to like, it's nothing like some sheets on a clothesline. Telling you, it's like it's a different feel.
Yeah. Well, see, I always I think when we look at dryers, I used to wear like a large shirt and put it in a dryer, it's extra small, and so those were my concerns with dryers. It's put them out on the line, nothing's shrinking on me. I mean,
and I think just
they have advantages and advantages.
I think Jamal is freezing or unfreezing. Solar is becoming more affordable, but like Belka, we'll put new charges to put power back on their grid.
I think I'm back. Solar is becoming more affordable, but likely Belco will put new charges to put power on the grids. Michelle White says. Monica Dunstan, she says, solar has been so beneficial that I actually earn a credit each month, which allows me to bless others once or twice a year by transferring that credit to their account. Interesting.
That's beautiful, Monica.
Yeah, Sam Cat Play says, clothesline dry and make your clothes crunchy. Know that crunchy.
If they can.
What are we talking about? Potato chips or something?
It can. I know exactly what she means.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Renee Simmons says, and feel and the smell. Clothes coming out of the dryer smells so much fresher. So I think everyone, we have to give up something. We have to give up something. Give up the good smell of clothes in the dryer and take the crunchiness, to something. But at the end of the day, I think the purpose of this conversation is to, we can't control the cost of, what Belco is going to charge. We can't.
Right.
And I used to be a hothead, self-proclaimed former hothead. Right? I've changed. I'm not like that no more. But I say that because it makes no sense to get stressed and angry about things that really we're not going to be able to change that easy. So we have to consider and think of things like, what can we change? What can we do to alleviate the stress on both our mental and financial state? And to me, there are certain things that you all have mentioned this morning, be it solar, be it pulling back. Like, do you wash every week? How often do you wash? Do you dry? How often do you dry? Do you have your AC running every day? Are there other ways to keep your house cool?
Well, I was going to say, and I'm sure it's happening in Bermuda more too, but here in Georgia and other states, you are purchasing smart homes now. So where you are able to turn on different things from your phone on your way home. So you can have your AC off all day. You know that you're coming home, you turn your AC on, house is cool, so it's not running all day. So a lot of homes are going to those different features of calling smart homes.
All right. So now, folks, let me just be clear. I'm not trying to tell you not to be angry at Belka. You do your thing. Do your thing. I'm just simply saying sometimes, as Rusty G said, we have to look within. And the very solutions to whatever it is we're having issues with could be inside of all of us. Let's bring Liana into the conversation, see what she's doing to reduce her energy costs, folks. She's a smart person. When she's not being rude to me, she's very nice too. Let's
She's
bring her in.
nice all the time.
Oh, you would say that. Good morning, Lee. How are you?
Good morning, guys. I am loving this conversation. You guys had me at the drying weather because my mom, just this weekend, she always says, "This is good drying weather, Lee. This is good drying weather." And we rushed home from our outing on Saturday so we could take our clothes off the lawn.
So hold on, Lee. All right, I gotta ask you. So are you the one who she'll still say, Lee, it's about to rain outside?
Yeah. If I'm at the house and she would go outside and pick my clothes down, please, Lee.
Yep. Folks, I'm telling you, man, it's the most Bermudian thing that I love. I'm not saying people outside Bermuda don't do it. Obviously they do. But for me, that was one fun experience. It wasn't fun when it was happening. I'm there playing Nintendo or something over my boy's house, and they're like, Jamal, nah, man. I look, I have memories of that. It's not easy. It's not easy.
It's the best. But when I did move back home from university and I officially moved out of my mom's house, I did try to find, energy saving costs, measures and whatnot. So I used to flick the switch in the panel, right? Before I used to leave the house, but I used to forget to flick it back on when I used to come home. So that used to prove an issue when I go get a shower. I'm like, the water's cold. So
exactly.
you got to remember,
See, hold on. I'm going to say this and we're going straight to the news because you ain't about to judge me. So, you're in college and you got your apartment and, mom pays for everything. So the leftover money you got to save to buy some food, right? So brother, was running low. So I was trying to figure out how to, save on, electricity and so on. Well, folks, don't be like Jamal.
Oh gosh.
Jamal turns off the panel when he left to go back to Bermuda. Might have been Christmas break or it was a short break.
Not the Hill House.
Well, his dumb ass came back to a refrigerator with bad food, freezer, everything melted.
Oh my goodness.
Folks,
lesson learned.
Don't be like Jamal.
Don't be like Jamal.
Over to you, Lee.
Thanks, Jamal and Sherry, and good morning to all of those who are tuned in with us today. I hope everyone is having a great start to this bright and sunny morning. I'm Leanna Lambert, and it's time for the Daily Hour News Break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. In today's top stories, the police have now confirmed the death of 89-year-old James H. Brown, who sadly died in a fire at his Devonshire home last week. Now, emergency services were called to a blaze where they found Mr. Brown trapped in his Devon Spring Lane home. He was seriously injured in the fire, which happened around 5:30 p.m. last Thursday. He was pronounced dead at the hospital later that evening. The cause of the fatal fire remains under investigation, and police say that anyone with relevant information is encouraged to call 247-1744 or 211 as soon as possible. The Bermuda Police Service is extending their sincerest condolences to Mr. Brown's family and friends. In other news, if you thought your traveling woes might come to an end, unfortunately, you'll have to get used to what might seem is endless traffic lights on our roads. Yes, Public Works Minister Lieutenant Colonel David Birch said that motorists will face years of disruption as painful roadworks and trenching projects continue to be carried out with Belco as they were needed but would cause severe inconvenience. Lieutenant Colonel Birch told MPs in the House of Assembly that government has formed a partnership with the energy company to replace the high voltage underground cable networks across the island. Now, Belco said that nearly 2/3 of the trenching was completed, but the project would extend until the end of 2023. Now, those in the East End are to be hit the hardest as work is being carried out by the Bermuda Land Development Company, BLDC, with the upgrading of the water and wastewater infrastructure in St. George's and St. David's. Now, Colonel Birch said that he wishes to prepare the public for another year of traffic lights and trenching, then another year or two of paving. But after that, the majority of the work will be completed, and says the value gained will be substantial. Now, in making the announcement, he also pleaded for motorists to remain patient, especially when waiting at traffic lights, as we've seen several accidents caused by people running red lights. And health officials say that the number of COVID-19 infections continue to rise after it was revealed that there are 312 active cases on island. Now, there are 9 people in hospital, although none are in the intensive care. There were 137 new cases found in the 5,140 tests from last Wednesday to last Saturday. Health Minister Kim Wilson said that the island's decision to loosen health restrictions did not equate to fewer precautions, and expressed concern about how responsible people will be once the mask mandate is relaxed. Now, Ms. Wilson said, as the pandemic is still here, we must avoid unhealthy behavior and putting ourselves in risky situations without practicing appropriate public health guidance to protect ourselves and others. Taking a look at today's weather, we have a high near 69 and a low near 64 degrees. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds today with a northwesterly breeze in the air. High pressure from the west will provide fair weather while temperatures gradually rebound from Wednesday onward. Now, tonight will be partly cloudy, but we'll see a return to the sunny skies tomorrow as it brings a bright start. However, clouds will increase as the day goes on. That's all for our daily hour news break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Now let's head back to Jamal and Sherry in the studio for today's Daily Focus.
All right. Thanks so much for that, Lee. Sherry, what you got for us days of the year, sister?
I do. I have American Diabetes Association Alert Day, and it's observed every fourth Tuesday of March. It's a part of a movement to create awareness about the silent killer that more than 34.2 million Americans, and we can add a few more to that if we want to include Bermudians, are at risk of. So join today on this day to alert everyone about the potential lethalness of this disease.
Oh, thank you for that.
Okay.
I believe I'll have to check, but I believe I do have diabetics in my family. My grandparents passed, so I do take that actual precaution and try to ease up on the wine gums. Being serious because I love a little candy, but no, folks, check it out. Check it out. What's the thing called that you can do to check your blood level?
Just a diabetes test. They prick your blood, your finger, and try. But it's all in my mother's side, so I have to be very careful.
Yeah, it's all in my father's side, so same. I remember the days that my grandmother was pricking her finger, and I used to ask her, "What are you doing?"
I used to give my grandmother insulin.
Yeah, see? Oof.
When I was younger, thinking I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah. Well, folks, take care of ourselves. Lee, thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
All righty. Folks, we've got Dr. Phyllis Curtis-Tweed coming up. We're talking literacy in Bermuda. To me, this is one of the most important conversations we always have on this show. So please don't go anywhere. If you have any questions, got them in now. Literacy. This is not just about the students, but also the parents and educators. We'll be back after this with Dr. Phyllis Curtis-Tweed.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's, I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
The history of everyday use of spices extends back thousands of years into antiquity. Since 1976, the Frontier Natural Foods Co-op has been bringing a wide range of exciting and authentic flavors to the table. A comprehensive range of ancient traditional herbs and spices produced organically and sustainably. The results are good news for the environment and more robust, fragrant essential oils in these natural seasonings. This month, we're featuring Frontier Natural Products, at least 95% organic salt-free lemon pepper. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
All righty, welcome back to the big show. She's Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Without further ado, let's bring in our guest for the day. We've got Dr. Phyllis Curtis-Tweed. Welcome back, madam. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. Good to see you again.
You know, it is great to see you again. I thought that you had neglected us. We haven't seen you in a while.
Oh, well, no, you're always in my heart.
We appreciate you. So look, let's get to it. Always, Bermuda College is always up to good for the community. And last year, I remember you had hosted this event as well, but Bermuda College is hosting the virtual workshop for educators and parents / guardians titled this year, Soaring to Reading Success through Accelerated and Innovative Instruction. What's the primary focus of this year's workshop?
Well, the focus of this year's workshop is to provide some tips to parents and educators to promote reading literacy for our children. As you all know, Bermuda has struggled with reading literacy for about probably last 15 years or more. And it's an ongoing challenge to make sure that our children are reading at grade level or beyond. And I believe the last time I was on, the percentages were quite staggering. I don't have the current numbers at this time, but we know that there were gaps pre-COVID, and with COVID, those gaps would be exacerbated because you know that we have had children who've been in and out of school. They've had online learning that has been perhaps a bit inconsistent for them, despite the best efforts of our phenomenal public school teachers. And so we want to make sure that we can do some things to help our children to finish what we're describing as unfinished learning through accelerated instruction, through innovative instruction. And this is really important to Bermuda College because part of our mission is to support the community to become globally and locally successful. And we have to make sure that we are empowering our children to make it to the college and encourage that pipeline. So it is important for us to make sure that our children are literate starting at the very youngest levels.
Indeed.
So we're providing this workshop to promote that. You were going to say?
No, I was going to say, because I want to touch on the pandemic part. I think it shouldn't be lost on anyone that the pandemic impacted so many students' ability to learn. Like that just, it should be obvious to many. But how will this workshop, what will this workshop do differently to address, as you mentioned, the gap in that? Like there were people, we were already in bad shape prior to the pandemic. Is there anything specific during this workshop that will say, you know what, this is how we make up the gap, this gap, and then focus on that gap? Or is there no particular order?
There's no particular order because the tips are general, right? Tips to help parents and educators support their children in enhancing their reading skills. So we couldn't really, in an hour, focus on any particular gap, but it will be designed to provide some general tips that people can use across the board. And they're applicable to young children and to older children as well.
Okay.
Interesting. How can educators and parents accelerate learning so that students can acquire or retain needed skills to stay on track? And we know that's very important.
It is very important. And I will say that is why you need to come to the workshop so you can learn what those what those tips are. But some of the things that we can do are to read to our children, to encourage them to read, to help them to address any deficiencies that you may observe as a parent or an educator, to help them to close the gaps. I think that it's really important to encourage children to read and to remain positive. We know that there's a gap, but we don't want to focus on the negative of a gap. We want to make sure that we're encouraging children to look forward and to move ahead in terms of their reading literacy. And I want to say one other thing about Bermuda and the gap in reading literacy. This issue is not specific to Bermuda. Yes, we do have this issue, but the pandemic is a pandemic. It's a global pandemic. So children everywhere are struggling with staying on target in terms of reading achievement.
Interesting. And because kids are struggling and the pandemic was such a blow to our education system and beyond, why is a workshop like this necessary for our community?
Oh, it is important for our community to feel supported. I think that parents, parents who are working, who maybe, lost jobs during the pandemic, who are struggling with other issues, educators who have been scrambling to improve their online teaching skills. Everybody needs help at this time. And it's really important for us to bring focus to that. And this workshop will do that.
And what age range does this course target? Like, I know you mentioned school age, but is it a course that will encompass all?
Our focus initially was on young children, but in looking at what we're doing, this really could benefit older children as well. And in terms of what we're going to do in the workshop, we'll have an introductory presentation from Dr. Margie Gillis, who is the president and CEO of Literacy How. And we've been partnering with Dr. Gillis and the Department of Education with Representative Kim Manderson, who is the acting reading officer, although believe me, it's no act, to offer these reading literacy events. So Dr. Gillis will provide an introduction talking about the importance of addressing the needs of our children. Then we will have a presentation from a company called Amplify that has done a lot of research on reading literacy and provides assessment for reading literacy. And they're going to provide some contextual information about unfinished learning and about the impact of the pandemic. And then we're going to have a presentation from Aisha Vickers-Brown, who is an extraordinary reading teacher at Paget Primary. And she is going to provide some innovative tips that she has used in the classroom and virtually to help parents and other educators to to promote reading success for our children.
Now, we're not trying to give it all away, but just want to dangle just a little bit of a carrot in front of everybody. What are some tips and tools that will be discussed to help children that have reading challenges? Just a few.
Just begging.
Well, I do know that that Ms. Vickers-Brown has developed a system of videos that can be used in a virtual context that have really exciting and fun games to help children to close that gap. I've seen some that have to do with spelling, word recognition, and these are just some of the things that she will be talking about. But I don't want to give her game away.
No, and I think that's because the perception may be that we're just going to this course, we're going to open up a book and we're going to look and see, okay, these are the ways to read. But what you're saying, that there's so many different innovative ways that children and parents and so forth can learn. And I just want people to, just our audience, Dr. Phyllis, just our audience, just, so that they can understand what it is that they're looking forward to.
Yes, this is about innovative instruction. So we're not going to have you read anything. We need for you to come and bring your attention. You will be seeing demonstrations, and I'm sure that Ms. Vickers-Brown is going to share some of her videos. And she's quite open to people using the techniques that she has developed, and so this is very active. And you will have an opportunity to ask questions. So we have a Q&A at the end of the presentation. So this is very interactive.
Yeah, and that's great, because you want to use the same thing that you use at school, at home, so that everyone's on the same page and things are seamless. Where can parents and educators learn more and sign up for this innovative course?
Yes, you can sign up for the course by going to Bermuda College's website, www.college.bm. Scroll down on the home page toward the bottom of the page. You'll see a picture of a lovely child who is at a computer with headphones on and looking like she's working hard. And it will say Soaring to Reading Success through Accelerated and Innovative Instruction. And you click on the link that says Learn More. It will take you to the sign up page. It takes 2 minutes to sign up. Teachers can get CEU credit, and that's it. It's very easy to do. It will be on March 30th, starting at 6 p.m., ending at 7 p.m. So it's just 1 hour. It is virtual, so you can come with your dinner, with your coffee, with your tea, and join us, and let's do something to promote reading success for our children.
If you have any questions or comments for Dr. Phyllis Curtis-Tweed, please put them in the comment section, and I will do my best to get through them. I want to go back to Shara's question about community, how important it is for our community. I was in college, and I had learned at that time that someone shared that a friend of theirs' father couldn't read their paycheck. Right now, that was numbers and so on. There are so many different things we study in school that people say, well, why do I need this? I'm not going to ever need chemistry, for instance, or I'm not going to need calculus. People say that. But reading is that one thing where you can't escape it. And the question about how important is it to our community? There's an old quote. I don't know who it was, so I'll just say anonymous. Correct me if I'm wrong, audience, you all know better than me, but it was something, if you want to hide things from people, put it in a book. I don't know who said it.
Mm-hmm. I've heard it.
Yeah. But when I hear quotes like that, I think of stuff like this, because I guess my question is, there are parents and guardians who probably were not strong readers. And so for them to do what a lot of people suggest of reading books to their young and the people that they're raising and guiding, will this course be helpful for them? Or, should they rely more on like reading clinics and others pay tutors? Like how can people challenge themselves, go about assisting the young they're raising?
Yeah, well, I'll give you another quote. Reading success is fundamental to learning success. That's how important reading is. And, I know that there are parents out there who may not feel confident about their own reading skills, or may not have, the type of reading skills that they need to have. But there are still ways for you to help your child. You can go onto YouTube and find, so many different videos that will have reading to children. And so there are ways that you can help your child in that light.
And I think, last year when we discussed this, and I said that time that I remember what my mom did. She bought these books, and it was like 30 different subjects, and I liked sports, so I always went to the sports, and that's how I learned the game of cricket, for instance. So those were strategies that she used. I'm not quite sure I came out the best, but it done some work. It did some work.
Well, you're right. If I can say, it's important to find what your child is interested in.
Absolutely.
If you have a child you have a reluctant reader, you just find things that they're interested in. If it's sports, maybe have them read the stats on their favorite player, direct them to the paper, which tends to be at a, fairly easy reading level, to look at those things that they're interested in, comic books. You can get all kinds of different materials these days, but the catch is to find something that their child is interested in, and that will ignite that reading spark.
Yeah. And that was my experience, Dr. Curtis-Tweed, in regards to finding what was good for myself. I was definitely the magazine comic short read. My sister was definitely didn't need any pictures, but I appreciate my mom for understanding both and saying, well, she's reading. It doesn't matter if it's comic books, magazines, and I needed something to draw my attention. So yeah, I think that's very important for parents to really understand that of their children.
Yes, it's very important.
Yeah, but I'm thinking as you were speaking, Dr. Curtis-Tweed, when I was growing up and we would get video games, right? Video games came with an instruction booklet, right? And again, it gave children an opportunity to read. Now, and I appreciate this because YouTube saves a lot of time in terms of just seeing how things are done rather than reading them. But how challenging is that to people, young people, and their ability to learn to read?
Well, I do think that having social media and having video games that take you away from reading can seem detrimental, but I think we have to use all of these devices to our benefit. And, even if you're on TikTok, there's stuff to read. So I do think it's important to just encourage our children to read whatever is associated with what they're using. Even with the video games, there are often parts that you need to read in order to enhance your skills. So I would say that we can't reject anything that, especially with technological advancements, we can't. But we do have to find ways to use them to our advantage. And with reading literacy, as you had mentioned, it also is about being able to recognize numbers. So we need to just make sure that we're encouraging our children to read what is in front of them.
Indeed. And just one more time, just remind people where they can go to learn more and participate in this virtual.
Yes. To sign up, go to www.college.bm, scroll down to on the homepage or the landing page, scroll down toward the bottom, and you'll see Soaring to Reading Success through Accelerated and Innovative Instruction. Click on Learn More, and it will take you to the sign up page. Teachers can get CEU credit for attending. You will automatically get the link, the Zoom link. It is a virtual event, March 30th from 6 to 7 p.m. Please join us. We look forward to seeing you there. You will have an opportunity to interact with the presenters, to ask questions, and to learn some tips and strategies that you can use to make sure that your children finish the unfinished learning that they may have in their gaps for reading literacy.
All right, thank you so much. And we do have David Michael Wilson says Malcolm X said it, quote, if you want to hide something from Black people, put it in a book, end quote. That's what I was trying to say, folks. I gave it to Anonymous and he put it there. So thank you so much for that, David Michael Wilson. And thank you, Dr. Phyllis Curtis-Tweed and Bermuda College for trusting our platform to engage with our audience and let them know the kind of things that are available for them and their families to improve their community.
Yes, and thank you again for the opportunity, Jamel and Sherry. This is really an important platform. I appreciate what you do for our community, and I want to encourage all of our listeners to go to that Bermuda College website, join us for the Reading Literacy event. You may have children in your lives. If you're a godparent, grandparent, parent, educator, doesn't really matter. If you have contact with a child and you want to encourage that child to read better, please attend the event and learn some strategies. Soaring to reading success.
You heard it. Dr. Phyllis Curtis-Tweed from Bermuda College, thank you so much. And we'll see you again soon. Sooner than last time.
So. Thanks so much.
Bye.
All right, folks, if you appreciated that conversation, you know what to do. Give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Always a good conversation, important conversation. And if you know someone, if you are someone, check it out. I think we can't go wrong when trying to improve ourselves and in turn our community. My sister's got a daughter. My niece is 9. I think wonder if my sister will sign up if she's got time. No,
she'll sign up.
All right. Put her on the spot. But if you enjoyed that conversation, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share this information as well. You might know someone who they may be having some challenges in the reading space. Recommend it to them, folks. These are the kind of things that improve our community. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and wrap it up. And as we wrap it up, the kind of things that take place, like the daily play. What, Sherry?
I don't know if it's just your energy behind it. I don't know if it's positive or negative. It's like it's that mixed energy.
That's what you get from it, right? Cool. Oh, I'm not trying to change your mind, folks. We'll be right back. Stick with us.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, there's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
All right, welcome back. She's Sherry Van Poel, Jamel Hartman. Thanks again to One Communications, People's Pharmacy, Medical House, and Linda's. This is your daily hour, and somebody's cell phone's going off.
It's not mine.
It's going. Yeah, that's definitely Sherry, folks. I had to mute her. Anyway, it's going wild over there. So somebody trying to get Sherry, folks. But look, we have a daily play. Let's do the daily play. If someone gets this answer, we have some new mugs coming out, right? Some new travel mugs. So if somebody gets the answer before Sherry, we're going to give you a gift. All right.
I want a travel mug. If I get it right, do I get one?
No. Time you can't look. If you work at the lottery, you can't win the lottery, Sherry. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna ask Shanta.
Oh, okay. Time for the daily play, brought to you by Heineken 0.0. Great taste, no alcohol. Sherry, are you ready?
Sure.
It's a remember when. All right, here we go. Who was the first Black person and woman to head a government department in Bermuda?
How far back are we going? Is it Lewis Brown Evans? Am I close? What was the other lady's name? I can see her face.
Somebody got it with a question mark, so I'm not sure if I should give it to them.
Depending on the person.
Karen Simmons says Kenneth Richardson. It was not Kenneth Richardson. Renee Simmons says Valerie Scott. It was not Valerie Scott. Ruseaton James with a question mark, or Ruseaton James without the question mark is the answer.
Who came up first?
Louise Jackson, no.
I thought Ruseaton James, to be honest. I really did.
Charlie saying the question mark was a typo. The answer was Mrs. Ruseaton James became the Registrar General in 1965, making her the first Black person and woman to head a government department.
I knew that, Jamal. I did. I'm mad at myself now.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's talk about the show. I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Well, hold up. We got to congratulate our winner.
Hey.
Charlie, you're going to be the first one to get a travel mug, so make sure you hit us up to get you. They're not in Bermuda yet, though, so you're going to have to wait some time.
How appropriate. Traveling Trotty, travel
mug. Look what you did there, girl. I didn't realize. She's on a winning streak lately, huh? Winning streak. She does.
Yes.
Won the lottery the other day on the show. You know how it goes. Final thoughts.
Ruseaton James, I'm irritated at that one because I knew that.
Yeah, she knew that. She just didn't say it. Any final thoughts on today's show?
Tips and tricks for electricity. Definitely, we gave you a slew. Panels. Be consistent. If you can do solar panels, hey, great. If you can't, then, as we said, light bulbs, unplugging things, turning off your hot water heater, putting a timer on it. As one of the audience members said, I think it was James Bart, she saved $100 thus far in doing so. So those things are what we need to be doing nowadays, and putting our clothes out on the line. In addition to, they say reading is fundamental. We have a course that is going to teach you the new innovative ways of reading and reading tips and tools. So definitely take part in that course. It sounds very interesting. I'm going to encourage my sister to go ahead and sign up, although they're bookworms over there. My nephew got it, honestly. But yeah.
What happened to Sherry? So look, folks, I'll say this much. I love this audience. I love the fact that we spend 20 to 25 minutes every day discussing solutions to problems. We all know the problems. We can complain about things all day, every day. But the fact that we were this morning discussing ways that we can reduce our energy costs, that's why this show exists. That's why we have these conversations, so that we can understand and look within to see what it is we can do to improve our own lives. And it just goes right into the reading. Bermuda College, thankful that they are doing something like this. I never liked to read. I think I told a story. I was in Sunday school, and Mama had my sister. My sister was a baby at the time. She was in the other Sunday school class for babies, so she's there, and she heard me reading from one day Sunday school class to the other. And I thought because I was a great speller and identifier of words, I was a great reader. So she back then, and computer stuff, but
okay,
I'll leave it at that.
That was an interesting story, Jamal. Very interesting.
I see I keep freezing, folks. Forgive me.
Yes.
Sherry, what you got for us? I know you've got some daily inspiration for us.
I do. Use what you've been through as fuel. Believe in yourself and be unstoppable. Yvonne Pierre.
I like that one. And tomorrow, folks, Sherry's got the day off tomorrow. And tomorrow we welcome our new co-host of the Daily Hour to the show tomorrow. You know what? Let's do something. If you go on our website and go on our website to the Contact Us form, and you tell us who you think the new co-host of the Daily Hour is. We'll give you something. And no cheating, no asking Sherry, no asking me, no asking Leanna, right? But we will have a new co-host on the Daily Hour starting tomorrow.
Yes.
And if you can guess who this co-host is going to be, we're going to give you a little something. You might be right behind Trotty, getting a little travel mug, all right?
Mm.
Yeah, that's fair. And I know, hey, look, Sherry, don't be taking no bribes, all right?
And people, I'm coming back just off tomorrow.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. Thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, one of us will be back tomorrow, the other will be back on Thursday. Hey, she's Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamel Hartman. Make it a safe and great day, my friends. People trying to get hints, is it male or female? Okay.
Oh.